Crucial synopsis. Ripple, Craig Phillips, to SC. Let's get this straight in the video from today. Hey everyone, $38 trillion a day from one single entity. Welcome once more to a new episode. Just the truth, no pretense or excitement. Let's assume that the distinction between XDC and XRP has been concealed. We will examine it in today's video. Let's start with Craig Phillips, who has been there in the open the entire time. He is a board member of Ripple. Let's go read his brief biography. Craig Phillips joins Ripple with more than 35 years of leadership experience in the public and private sectors. He has held senior positions at BlackRock, Morgan Stanley, and Credit's largest. Craig most recently worked as a counselor to Stephen Munich, the Secretary of the Treasury, overseeing domestic finance and developing policy. Executive Order 113772, which addresses financial system regulatory reform, stands for a dynamic collaboration of the regulations through an adaptable and appropriately customized approach. This relates to cryptocurrency, and as you can see from the US, if we go to Executive Order 13772, the Department of Treasury is a financial platform that generates revenue through financials, not at banks. Blockchain and its integration with banks, the private sector, and fintech describe innovation in fintech. Of course, consider who was here. We have R3 and Ripple, two highly influential UA startups that will play crucial roles. Regarding this change, as well as what Craig Phillips has to say about a blockchain, as I have always maintained, Bitcoin will never be used as a form of payment due to the possibility that even if 99 things go well, one may go wrong. 51% of attacks have happened thus far. Just listen to it, it won't be utilized. Directly from Craig Phillips, so volatile. Take heed of Craig Phillips' words. As you are mindful, so should they all be. Study the environment, for example. This is a field where the government is not going to compromise in the slightest. It's also a bit of a showstopper, since 99 out of 100 things could go perfectly, but there could be one truly terrible occurrence. Involves money laundering or terrorism related to national security, which kind of becomes a showstopper for the evolution, so I'd say that became one of the main topics. He refers to it as everybody is engaged. Spectacular, as you are all well aware. We have been discussing the IMF monitor. Given Singapore's authority, what are the chances? Here too, they're all participating. With the European Commission central bank laggard, Christine, everybody is a ball deep. Okay, so let's set the tone before discussing the use of R3 and XRP. Everyone believed it to be untrue, but let's look at some solid proof and David Schwartz's comments for a little while with Craig Phillips and examine the issues at hand regarding the SEC and the executive order intended to implement what you will hear. I'll be the second director for the time being. Views from the SEC and Craig Phillips on regulating Gerber Singh, who was also the subject of a corruption probe, even if this occurred only a few months ago. Pay attention to what he says when he questioned whether XRP as a whole is a security. What does he do? Follows the playbook, discusses the test that all of the attorneys provide counseling for blockchain innovators, refers to the WHO test, because it defines or provides a framework for figuring out what qualifies as an investment contract and consequently a security under the federal securities laws. And that's the point of Howry. How do you know? Based on a landmark Supreme Court case from 1946 and decades of case law. It doesn't depend on the label you give it, and in the end, you are aware of the term. Occasionally, regulatory sandboxes are overused, but it's evident that when something is relatively new, it doesn't fall under the existing regulations. Moreover, in cases where multiple regulators have overlapping mandates, we must find a way for them to permit us to safely experiment with their ideas automatically. A day, 38 trillion. R3 plus XRP equals awesome. VRIFIE. To be honest, that doesn't make sense. It's nonsensical, and now let's dive straight into the R3, XRP, and Ripple issues. Someone asked David Schwartz on the internet what the XRP community should know, and his response was venomous. Person about the XRP community, therefore they included 10 notes. 10 tips indicating that Swift does not employ XRP, R3 does not use XRP. The XRPL is not used by R3. David Schwartz responds, "To my knowledge, all of these are essentially true. There are some small exceptions, such as this one. The XRP ETF was false. All this garbage was for no purpose." Moreover, he includes a link to the R3 webpage. Influencing the direction of regulated markets in the future, and bear in mind that David won't just come out and say, "We have some evidence of the concepts working behind the scenes in what you do, but we have worked with Swift, or we want to utilize Fed coming forward." You genuinely believe David will show up. Express how amazed I am by that, but this article that was released should be the one. R3 introduced a universal settler app on Corda to enable international payments. Remember that the DTDCC is the first settlement method, which is XRP. Project Ion chose R3 this year. Teamed up with top corporate technology supplier R3 to create and introduce a Project Ion platform that makes use of R3's connected DLT technologies and the staggering $38 trillion in daily settlements, and we're talking about an annual settlement of $462 trillion in US dollars. And as you can see, when we go over to the core of settlement, the Corda network with the oracles, the exchange rate oracles, and the XRP are available on the R3 website. The network is employed to carry out a settlement. The token XRP, alright, let's move forward now. Let's now explore why everyone claims that Corda is using XCC. Upon reading this CoinDesk article published this year, it is evident that R3K has established a bridge to public blockchains through the introduction of Ethereum, which is based on XTC. Excellent public blockchains are fantastic, but let me explain the two distinctions now. Utilizing the XDC and XRP tokens now, pay close attention to what follows. There are two entirely different animals. Corda XRP and XDC resolve with XRP1 can integrate Corda. Using the XRP ledger to swiftly and affordably settle cross-border payments, XRP's quickness and liquidity, it is appropriate for international money transfers due to its settlement periods. Financial institutions can settle interbank transactions more quickly and affordably by utilizing CTER in conjunction with XRP. XRP on the Corda platform can act as a middleman asset for tokenizing real-world assets like equities, commodities, or real estate. Name a few XRPs that are well known for their quickness and large liquidity, which makes them appropriate for quick settlement. Since XRP uses a public blockchain for financial transactions, everyone can see the transaction data. Entry to the ledger XRP primarily serves as a liquidity provider and a bridge currency to enable cross-border transactions. All right, let's go in. Switching to XDC, and what the distinction is with XDC, Corda can settle. Utilizing XDC to interface with the XN blockchain and carry out enterprise-grade smart contracts in a variety of industries, such as supply chain trading. Money and medical care, you can use XCC to monitor and confirm the flow of assets and goods across a supply chain, guaranteeing efficiency and transparency right now. You've probably noticed by now the distinction between XRP and XDC, but I'm going to continue anyway to hide the entire XRP, and XDC. Knowledge gap XDC tokens can tokenize assets or represent ownership rights safely and legally. It differentiates from XRP and the XRP ledger by being hybrid, fusing aspects of public and private blockchains to provide more. In terms of data privacy, control is essential. In the future, public blockchains will consider the release of sidechains like the XRP ledger and Ripple, which I haven't heard anything about yet. The XIN network allows participants to access it, enabling more restricted access and private transactions as necessary. XFIN and XCC have a focus on their design. Regarding enterprise use cases and legal in summary, compliance is an option. Depending on the particular use case and requirements, choose between settling with Corda using XRP or XTC. Use Corda with XRP for quick and affordable cross-bank payment settlement and asset tokenization when speed and liquidity are essential and public ledger transparency is acceptable. When working with enterprise smart contracts, supply chain management, or tokenization in a setting where greater control over data privacy is necessary, use Corda and XDC. That being said, ladies and gentlemen, permission is by regulatory norms. I am grateful to every one of you. If you truly want to comprehend it, please let me know in the comments section below. I'd go back and listen to it again. However, there is a significant difference between XRP and XTC. People need to wake up. Acknowledge that, and I will end the film with an insider confirmation. Crypto will expand significantly soon. Video I watched the XRP guy shouting out to you for this one about a blockchain seminar that was happening, and the panelists asked them, shall we simply purchase Bitcoin and then wait to use it? Purchase only Bitcoin. Why should I buy the NASDAQ or anything else? If not, we'll just purchase Bitcoin and watch what he has to say. You have to realize that these people are aware of what is about to happen to pipelines, just as we are. The only difference is that we are aware of it because we have a few functioning brain cells. It's terrible that people are blind to what is about to happen with a $1 trillion market cap that, on the conservative side, will explode to over $10 trillion. However, pay attention to what he says regarding investments that are far superior to other investments if you, without a doubt, head down to rabbit hole. Yet they differ greatly from one another. Assets with widely disparate market functions and valuation models. Therefore, it depends on your location. If you have descended, take the bend to the right. A rabbit hole if you have conducted sufficient study and possess a clear understanding of the fundamental distinctions between these methods and the issue they aim to address. You can begin examining things from various angles. I would argue that there are better alternatives, but it depends on your risk tolerance and your investing goals. Bitcoin is a great proxy if you're an early-stage investor looking to make an initial allocation or just get exposure to crypto as an asset class. Depending on who you are, the answer is either yes or no. We most definitely do not. Take in the show. Craig Phillips, Level Playing Field, believes that digital assets pose a risk to financial stability. But in this regard, we believe that international involvement is crucial, and what we're attempting to achieve there is a fair playing field. Fairness in the application of the criteria for keeping an eye on financial transactions using digital assets in an attempt to supervise the exchange. In addition to the market making and transparency concerns that our market regulators are dealing with and other aspects. In this day and age, we consider the global situation to be of utmost importance, and our main goal here is to establish a standard. Leveling up. How in reality, we're going to establish financial inclusivity, but we're also going to regulate it to level the playing field. They serve as a type of universal bridge for all cryptocurrencies, and blockchains are what offer a fair and impartial environment, as well as the digital assets liquidity. The actual implementation of that is one possible use, far more inclusive level of play. The bank is bringing everything into balance, the field between the old and the new in the most effective, equitable, and worldwide manner feasible. This suggests that the European Union has been losing hundreds of billions of euros on a level playing field, and all we wanted was for there to be a level playing field that makes us businesses competitive. Thus, we must establish a baseline. The playing field is precisely the problem we require. To deal with the so-called level playing field, whatever we do, we make the playing field level. But equal pay is also necessary. Final with the hypothesis that cryptocurrency liquidity will someday be able to facilitate reliable global payments, we began to create waves. Hefty payouts, spiral users can switch to ODL after realizing the advantages of our fiat-based system. Click the switch after the market has reached a certain level of maturity, and this is precisely what is occurring. I believe you are part of what we're building. I consider all of the tokens and know that it's fixing a genuine problem. Anyone would be able to appreciate their usefulness. If there is true practicality and utility, a true customer is benefiting. The token will have some value.